We can today discuss the September the 21st card, the Riyadh season, the continuation of Riyadh season. And we've got good old AJ versus Daniel Dubois.
AJ and Dynamite Daniel Dubois.
The heavyweight clash,
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's going to be quite live. That's Wembley, so it's London.
But it's going to be a full house.
So it's going to be such an exciting fight.
Big fight, big undercard, big main event, 100%. Full house, British blockbuster, mate. That's what we want. That's what we deserve as fans.
Yeah, heavyweights always bring excitement, innit? That's the thing.
I can't wait. Heavyweight is unpredictable, man. One punch can change the whole fight, mate. And you know what? I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait. I like Daniel Dubois. I like AJ. Both big, both strong.
Daniel's coming off of some good wins, isn't it? Obviously,
definitely, man.
Big baby Miller.
Yeah, you know, and with AJ's got a new trainer, Ben Davidson, man. He's probably bringing a bit of, I don't know what he's changed or if, you know, how much they've changed, but AJ and Ben are gelling quite well, and the performances are coming out, man. Look how he dispatched Ngannou, man.
Yeah.
You know, really, that's what Tyson Fury should have done, but maybe Fury took the fight a bit lightly. He didn't maybe train properly. He might have had 1-2 little injuries as well, you know.
Because that's the thing for us fans, we don't really know. We're like looking in on the. Yeah. So sometimes we've got inside information because we know some fighters in camps of other fighters.
Yeah, but we keep that to ourselves.
But some of them, inside information. Obviously, we're not going to release that. But to be fair, like with AJ, obviously I'm picking AJ and you're picking. Daniel Dubois.
I can't wait for this fight, man. This will be a big fight. I'm looking forward to it. And I think Dubois might do something, man. I think Dubois, man. You know, Dubois, like one thing I like about Dubois, he's got a good jab. Not only he's got a good jab, he's got a good double jab.
Yeah, that's true.
Heavyweights nowadays, don't see too many heavyweights throwing a good double jab, man.
Solid jab.
Yeah, and Daniel Dubois is strong. He can pop. And personally, I think he's got a good engine, man. He's got a good engine, and his work rate is pretty good.
Yeah, but the things I worry about with Daniel Dubois is maybe things like footwork, because he's not the most mobile of heavyweights, and also sometimes he can be quite sort of telegraphed and plodding at times. Not always. Sometimes he gets off some nice flurries or combinations.
I mean, like I think earlier on in his career. Yeah, he was probably maybe not the best mover or whatnot, but I personally think, I think when he needs to, because we have seen him, I've seen him basically in some fights, right, where he's got good upper body movement, he's got decent head movement, you know, his bobbing, his weaving, and against Gerald Miller, you didn't see too much of that, because personally, maybe the trainer might have said to Daniel, look, this guy, he's going to come forward, he's a pressure fighter, he's high volume, you know, don't waste your energy and bounce around and move around. Just maybe hold your feet. I think maybe that's what he kind of.
Gerald Miller just always comes straight at you.
You know, and Daniel Dubois, he's a big unit, and for him to be moving around like, you know, every round, 12 rounds, it's gonna take
precious energy, isn't it? Yeah.
He's a big like, I don't know, like obviously we met Daniel Dubois. We know the father, we know his sister.
Yeah,
Caroline. Yeah, and I mean, look, we've seen Dubois train. You know, we've seen him in some fight camps he was having when he used to train in Peacock. You know, we've seen him training there a few times, and then obviously we've seen him train under Shane McGuigan. So you know, we've been up close in person, and to be fair, man, with me, bruv, do you remember the story I told you? You know, this is the story of how I came to know of Daniel Dubois, right?
Yeah.
I forgot who was on the main event, but it was a Frank Warren show. I forgot who was on the main event, and they were doing the weigh-ins, right? So like I was watching the weigh-in, and then Daniel Dubois came on stage. I was like, wow, who's this guy? And then he come on stage, right, and he took his top off or whatever, and I was like, what the hell, this guy is huge, he's like a mountain. And then when they obviously, the announcer was you know, giving these stats, like, you know, he's like 19, I was like, what the hell, this guy's 19.
He didn't look 19, right?
No,
like
man, I thought, wow, this guy.
Yeah,
like I was pretty impressed. I was like, wow, who the hell is this guy, man? He's massive. And he's 19, he's so bloody young. I thought, wow, this guy could do maybe a bit of damage, man, in the game. And then, I mean, so I've kind of always been a fan of Daniel Dubois. I like Daniel Dubois. I've always kind of been a fan of him, but obviously I like AJ as well. And AJ, man, he's done well for British boxing, man. You can't deny him that. You know?
He's been probably like one of the biggest names in British boxing for the last 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah, man, he banged a lot of eyes onto the sport, and you know, he done well in the Olympics, and you know, he's had a big career, man. You know,
and there's a lot at stake. I mean, there's obviously the IBF heavyweight title is actually on the line. But also, you would like to think that, let's say, you know, whoever the winner is, they're going to get some massive fight after this. They can either get maybe a Tyson Fury fight or something like an Usyk fight. Yeah,
rematch,
the winner. Yeah, the winner.
Yeah, personally,
especially for AJ, it's obviously personal, right?
Definitely.
Twice.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man.
Whereas for Dubois, it's also personal because he actually thinks he actually beat Alexander Usyk as well. You know, that whole
which I think was a legal blow.
Yeah, legal blow. Exactly.
Matter,
there are blows that's on the belt, and then there's ones that are slightly under. But I think the shots that Usyk got hit with were definitely borderline legal. So I don't think Daniel was trying to on purpose foul Alexander Usyk. I think that Usyk didn't like those body shots, and obviously he was kind of looking for the referee to help him out there, which is one of the very rare times you actually ever see Usyk be very uncomfortable.
Definitely. But I mean, even like, you know, like if you look at Dubois from the start, you know, the guy was a bit quiet, he didn't talk a lot, and, you know, he's a bit wet behind the ears and that, you know, being in front of cameras and in interviews. But if you look, man, as the years have gone on, you know, because obviously, you know...
He's chirped up quite a bit, isn't he? He talks more.
Slowly kind of getting into it, man. You know, he talks a bit more, and, you know, that famous line, man, I love that line, when he goes to Big Baby, he goes, yo, he goes, every baby has a daddy, and I'm going to treat you like I'm your daddy. It's the way he said it, but I thought, you know what, that's the best line I've heard, man.
Do you think that was like a rehearsed line? Do you think he actually wrote that down and he rehearsed it? I won't be
surprised if someone told him to say that, though. Like,
say that. To get under Big Baby's...
Might have been Sam Jones, bruv. Sam Jones might have phoned the bar and said, say that.
The thing is, like, Americans like to talk a lot, but sometimes when you talk back to them, they get upset.
Yeah, I think it's their culture, man.
It's almost like they expect the Brits to be nice and polite and, like, not actually say anything, innit?
They do a lot of trash talk up there, innit, in America.
They like that. They like
build
that.
The culture, they like it, they're into it. That's their thing, innit? But here, obviously, trash talk, depending on what you're saying, will get frowned upon, innit?
Yeah, so some fans don't like it. So
some fans don't like it, but some fans need to understand that, you know, it's needed maybe to build up the fight, make it a bit more exciting, you know, all that stuff. So, you know, but going back on to Daniel Dubois, you know, as his career's gone on, I personally think Don's a good fit for him, man. Me personally,
I think, Charles, his new trainer.
You know, Don Charles, you know, he's had a lot of heavyweight. He's quite experienced in heavyweight, and I reckon his style and his mentality, I think that personally, I think will be a fit with him and Dubois, because Dubois is young, he is strong, he is powerful, he can bring it and he can throw and he can pop. I reckon it'll be a good fight, man.
Yeah, so predictions time in terms of like what you're predicting. You're saying Dubois, I mean, you're picking Dubois by points, or you're picking Dubois by stoppage?
Personally, man, you know, you've seen it, I've seen it. Dubois can punch because we've been there for a lot of his fights.
Yeah.
We've seen it up front, and, you know, he has got the power, and AJ's got the power. I think personally, bruv, you know what? I think it might come down to the jabs.
Yeah.
It might come down to the jabs.
The jab first.
What I mean by that is who's got the better jab or who's throwing more jabs. Like I was saying before, I think Daniel Dubois has got a very good double jab, man. His double jab technique is very good, and I think a double jab against AJ will upset him and will maybe mess up his rhythm or timing. And I think Dubois...
AJ doesn't have a bad jab himself. He's actually...
I know. AJ's got a good jab.
He can be quite good.
I know. AJ's got a good jab, man. AJ's a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter, and ex-champion.
So do you think it's going to be like one of those like cagey ones where they come out to try to feel each other?
You know, it could be like a cagey one. They're feeling each other out, because look, AJ will know deep down that Daniel can jab, and Daniel obviously will be getting told by his training and his camp that look, AJ got a good jab as well.
Yeah,
so if it is a cagey one, I think it'll be maybe the battle of the jabs, and I think if someone does get hurt, rocked or buzzed, I think that's when the fight will pick up. I think because look, Dubois is a good finisher and AJ is a good finisher. Good thing with AJ, he's a good combination puncher. When he lets him go, he's a good combination puncher. So if he has someone hurt or buzzed or whatever, I mean, he can throw a good flurry of combinations, and he could do damage and get someone out there, man.
100%, and also the other thing is like also both men know they can actually hurt each other. The big punches, both, and they've been buzzed, they've been hurt before in fights.
Big, strong, both big and strong, man. Both can punch.
None of them have like an incredible chin.
You know, you got one guy from Nigeria and the other guy from I think Caribbean, Jamaica or something.
Is it Daniel?
Yeah, I
think Daniel's
Jamaican, Caribbean, I think, if I had to take a guess. But yeah, you know, you got it's like a Nigerian power versus Caribbean power, man. It should be a big fight, man.
That's a big British fight, and
both
people are excited for that. So
yeah, you know, big
my
fight.
Prediction just AJ by late stoppage.
You think AJ? Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? I've had a gut feeling for a long time, because I think I've had for a long time. Because I kind of knew back in the back of my head these two might actually get on together in the future, and it's happening. And even then, when I used to think about it, I've always thought Daniel Dubois, and I'm gonna stay with Daniel Dubois because Daniel Dubois in his last previous fights, not only has he shown power, he's shown a bit of resilience, and he's shown he's got a good chin, man.
Yeah, he can take a beating. Like when he fought Joyce, it took a long time before Dubois was sort of succumbed to that eye injury.
Yeah.
Joyce had to hit him with big
I think
shots.
You know back then Dubois. I think personally, I think that time, I think that was the wrong fight for Dubois at that time. I think Dubois needed a bit more experience and plus
to face someone like Joe Joyce of Joyce's experience. Basically.
Yeah, and you know, so now he's got a trainer. He's obviously got a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience in Don Charles, and I think it's a good fit, man. So I think I'm gonna go for Daniel Dubois, man. Definitely, Daniel Dubois.
It'll be interesting how that one pans out.
I can't wait.
I'm going AJ. He's going Dubois. So what do you guys think?
We never agree. Well, we never.
Sometimes.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I got a feeling we might agree on the next one. So on the undercard, exciting fight. We've got Hamza Sheeraz versus Tyler Denny. Tyler Denny, Hamza Sheeraz. That could be a really good fight.
What can I say about Hamza Sheeraz and Tyler Denny, man? Both solid, strong, tough fighters, man. When they're both in training camp, man, they're training hard. They've got their head down, and they're coming to bring it, man.
Yeah, especially like we've actually seen, obviously, both Hamza and Tyler live quite a few times.
We were there for Hamza's pro debut, which we were both impressed by.
He was a teenager, like back then. He was young, man. He was like super young, and we both sat down. We looked at him and said, "Who's this kid?"
Yeah, just quickly getting into that story. I remember his pro debut was on Copper Box, and I think that maybe the main event was Billy Joe versus the American dude.
Could have been, I forgot. Willie Monroe Jr.
I think that was the main event, and that was at Copper Box. And on the undercard was Hamza Sheeraz, which was his pro debut. And I remember that.
Was it 17?
I think it was 17, man, from what I remember. And we were watching the fight and we were both impressed. And we were like, you know, who's this guy? And the other thing was, man, the amount of support he had.
He had a lot of support.
Mate, I tell you, he had a lot of support. Everyone's clapping, everyone's cheering.
Yeah, so we're like, who's this kid? He's like really popular. So he's got so much support.
That's what I'm saying. Not only were we impressed by his performance, we were also impressed with the bloody support he had. He had a lot of support there and looked like he sold a lot of tickets.
Yeah, and mind you, like on your pro debut, you usually get a lot of people that turn up anyway. True. But like even then, this was like a huge, like an army of people.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Hamza Sheeraz is a good ticket seller, and he has a lot of support. And the people that were supporting him then are still supporting him now and still gang there because you know, gang forward in his career, we will see the people we saw at his pro debut. You know, we will still see them. You know, 5 fights,
same faces. Fights, you see the same faces.
Yeah, so he's got a good support, man. He's got a good team, and you know, his dad's done a really good job with him, man. So,
for sure. And then you've got obviously the flip side of that same fight is Tyler Denny. And Denny's come from basically nowhere. He's come from small hall shows.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the thing, Lord. We came across Tyler Denny in Your Call.
Yeah, Your Call. That's probably the first time we saw him. He was fighting either one of the undercards, but then he fought Linus Udofia.
Yeah, which we know.
Yeah, we know Linus well, so he fought Linus and he gave Linus hell, basically.
Gave him a good
very hard fight.
Yeah.
Close split decision, and then in the end, basically, I think it was for the English title back then.
Yeah,
and I think Linus won the English.
Yeah, at Your Call.
Or Your Call again. Yeah. And Tyler Denny, we knew straight away that this guy, he comes to fight. He's very active. He's very tough.
Yeah, he's always in good shape.
Yeah, he's in great shape.
Always in good shape.
And he's improved. He's got better.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
And then he fought another friend of ours that we know, Brad Pauls, who is now the British middleweight champion.
Great
and
fight.
He actually beat Brad Pauls in that fight. Now looks like Tyler Denny's got that opportunity of a lifetime, basically, that he's fighting Hamza.
Big fight.
That's a really big fight.
Another really good big fight, man. Yeah,
so he's going to be up for it. He's going to come at Hamza at a million miles an hour, I predict. But again, this is one of those fights we will probably agree about the outcome. Yeah, we probably both think that Hamza Sheeraz is going to...
personally... Like, what I personally think, man, is I think if Tyler Denny stays on the outside for too long, I think he's going to get tagged. I think he knows that, his team know that. Hamza is rangy, the guy can pop, the guy has got power. I think that if Tyler Denny tries to box him or make it technical, I think he's going to get messy for him. So I think personally he's going to try to maybe get in the pocket, pressure him, get up close. Up close, Hamza won't have that range. He might lack a bit of power up close as well. It's hard to generate power, isn't it? When the guy
when the guy's like on you, basically, trying to come inside. But
it could be an interesting fight, man.
But the thing with Hamza is he's got good uppercuts. So if Tyler Denny tries to get on the inside, I think Hamza's going to meet him with some uppercuts to try to discourage him, to try to keep him away.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
and Hamza's got good experience now, sparring really good pros in the States. So he probably is used to people that got that come forward, up in your face style.
That's what I rate about Hamza, because when, for example, when Amir Khan went to America and he based himself there in terms of promoter, trainer and stuff like that, right? Amir Khan was a already established name.
Yeah,
so he got pampered.
Yeah, he got pampered.
You can say he got pampered, yeah. When he was over there,
he was already a big star. He was already a big star.
Yeah, he was already a star, no name. But don't get me wrong, when Amir Khan was in the gym training and sparring, they probably didn't ease up on him. They probably gave it to him. But with Hamza, when Hamza went to America, he was pretty much unknown. Don't get me wrong, the British fans
know who Hamza was.
The British boxing fans, that is.
But the Americans wouldn't have known.
Yeah, they'll probably think, who's this kid?
They'll probably try to put it on him.
Which they did, which Hamza obviously said himself. He said that when he was in the gym, when the guys he was meant to spar or whatever, when they find out he was from the UK,
they try to get him extra, basically.
That's the story, isn't it? That's what usually happens when UK fighters will go to America to be based there, or to fight there, or to train there. The Americans will give it to him a bit more, innit?
No, it makes sense, 100%. And also the other thing with Hamza is that obviously he's been based there many times now. He's acclimatized to training in the States. It's not new to him anymore.
Big move, man.
He's settled in, basically.
Definitely. I mean, think about the experience he got there, man.
Massive,
not only him, him training with an American trainer, but the sparring and everything.
Yeah. And the size as well. He's got a massive size advantage, reach advantage over someone because Tyler's not the tallest of middleweights anyway to begin with. He could have easily, height-wise, he could probably pass for maybe a super welterweight / a light middle.
Yeah,
so and Hamza's a very tall middleweight. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
He's massive.
He's massive.
He's so tall. Tall kid, man.
He's very tall. So
very tall kid. Yeah.
So I think eventually when he grows into his body, I can see Hamza going super middle.
Yeah, definitely.
Light heavy, even I would imagine.
Definitely. Hamza,
and he's still young as well.
He's a young guy, man. The thing with Hamza is I think his last fight at welterweight was against Bradley Scoot, who we also know.
Yeah, we know Bradley.
We also know very well. Good guy, man. Bradley Scoot. Give a shout out to Bradley Scoot as well.
Yeah, and shout out to the man that we know, Bradley, through Mr. Andy Buatsi.
Yeah, definitely.
Worldwide signings in Wembley.
Yeah, so
that's another super exciting fight.
Yeah,
so we're both picking Hamza, but are we picking him by points or are we seeing a stoppage?
So what I was going to say is, just backtracking quickly, was when Hamza had his last fight at welterweight against Bradley, he struggled a bit, and Bradley gave him a good fight. I personally think Hamza was drained, and people who know Hamza, they'll probably say the same thing. But, look, you got to look at it this way, because people still bring the Bradley Skeet up fight. They did ask for a rematch, it never happened. So when Hamza did move up to light middle, he's knocked out every opponent he faced at light middle. So
I think it's difficult to make when you're that tall, that rangy. It's very hard to boil yourself down. The older you get, the harder it becomes to sort
crazy.
of. And it takes your punch resistance away, takes your power away.
Yeah. I mean, look, when a couple of times when we met Hamza and when we were at his birthday party and stuff, even me and you used to be like, how the hell did he get down to it?
Yeah, because when you meet him in real life, he's so big. He's such a big
tall kid.
It's almost impossible to imagine that he can get down to welterweight.
I know, man.
It's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, of course. So so going for the prediction in that fight, I think it's going to be a good fight. And they're both tough, they're both game, they both train hard, they both will be in shape. And Tyler Denny, he's come off quite a few good wins, man.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that's going to be a 12-round fight, so it's going to be quite a lengthy fight.
Tyler Denny, he's one of them fighters, man. He was at the lowest, and he lost. And look how he's rebuilt himself. He's come back, and he's put himself in a good position.
Yeah, and he's not a quitting type of guy. So Tyler Denny, he's just going to go out and shield, isn't he?
And Tyler, I know talking about we were talking earlier on about Hamza having a lot of support. Bloody Tyler Denny.
Tyler's got massive support, especially Denny, from the Birmingham area where he trains. And
we've experienced it and we've seen it firsthand. We were there for Tyler Denny's title fight. We won the title fight, and we were backstage with him, and we wished wished him well. We congratulated him.
Yeah, it's a nice guy.
Good performance. Nice, lovely guy.
Both are lovely people.
Both guys are very good. They're very respectful, and they're very professional. Professional and very humble.
Yeah. So
I don't like leading into the fight. I don't really see no bad blood between them two. I don't think they'll, anything.
Yeah, I doubt that there'll be like a big back and forth. Both men want to win for professional reasons.
Definitely, man.
Advances their career.
Definitely.
It makes sense.
Definitely. So So I think me personally, I'm going for a Hamza Sheeraz win, and I think it will come by a knockout.
Yeah, stoppage basically. Yeah, I'm saying the same. I'm probably saying late rounds, probably like round 10, 11. Stoppage by Hamza.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a good fight, man. Exciting fight. I can't wait for that. That's a wicked fight as well.
I just think at the end of the day, it's the size and the experience that Hamza's got is going to be too much for Tyler, because at the end of the day, he's not going to be able to overcome a size difference.
Yeah,
like that. Hamza's too strong, too big.
Yeah, I think personally, against Ammo Williams. Yeah, I mean, bloody hell, what a performance, man.
Yeah, because Ammo Williams tried the whole American, try to put it on him and try to get up in his face.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to get those combinations.
He's been funny, innit? But I mean, look, that's a testament to Hamza's mentality and his focus.
Yeah, and Hamza even looked good on the ropes. Anytime he had to cover up, he covered up, and when Ammo was exhausted, basically he threw everything he had to throw. Hamza then returned
the
fire, and he never let up. When he had Ammo in trouble, he never let off.
He smashed it, man. I think it was a great fight, and he proper smashed it.
Yeah. And the other thing for Hamza really is that for him, realistically speaking, the middleweight division is wide open. There aren't any more big legendary big beasts in the division. It's anyone's game, and you think to yourself, why not Hamza? Hamza could do it. He could become a world champion. Definitely.
I mean, they were talking about Hamza fighting Eubank, but personally, I don't see that fight happening, and I don't think Eubank would want it.
No, but it's also Eubank's now this super middle, really, even can be light heavy even. But probably super middle at most. So I don't see him boiling himself down to middleweight unless it's some sort of a catchweight type situation. And also, like I said, he's been calling out people like Conor Benn and Billy Joe Saunders.
He still wants that fight.
Conor Benn and Billy Joe Saunders. So I doubt that Hamza's basically on the radar for.
The only way I can see that fight happening, Eubank and Hamza, is if the Turkey Al Sheikh guy gets involved.
That's
shiny money, bro.
Yeah, obviously.
Eubank will fight anyone.
Yeah, if the money's right, I think Eubank will fight anyone. So it's a question of money always. It boils down to that. Like if enough money can be sort of put up,
mate, then people have got money. Trust me, they will fork that money up.
And that'd be an interesting fight as well. To be fair, Hamza Sheeraz versus Chris Eubank Jr. That'd be a good fight. Once it lasts, it'd be entertaining for the fans for sure.
Definitely, man. So you're going for a Hamza win as well?
Yeah, Hamza win. I think both of us agree, and both of us agree on the stoppage. So sometimes on rare occasions we do actually agree.
Yeah, that's true.
And the next one we've got another exciting fight on that very same card. We've got Willie Hutchinson, the Hutch Train, versus Joshua JB
Buatsi,
Business Buatsi.
Who obviously we know.
Yeah, we know Josh really well. Yeah, and
we've done stuff with a few things with Willie, and we've done a few things with Joshua, and we've obviously been in a few training camps for Joshua as well.
Yeah, Buatsi and also his friend Dwayne Hotshot Sinclair. Shout out to Hotshot. And Keith Gillespie, the trainer as well. That
shout out Mark Gillespie.
Mark Gillespie, my father. Yeah, definitely. Mark Gillespie, not Keith. Mark Gillespie, that's it. And both lovely guys. I mean, Joshua Butts, we actually kind of personally know him. Lovely guy, great fight. We've seen him train. We know what Josh is all about. And then you got Willie Hutchinson, that's coming off a career best performance.
And sorry, just to cut you off, we were actually there for Joshua's pro debut.
We were
actually there for Willie Hutchinson.
So Joshua Buat's pro debut, I remember this yesterday, O2 Arena Summertime Brawl.
Which was a good show. We had
with Conor Benn on the card as well. Yeah,
and then we were there for Willie Hutchinson's pro debut.
Yeah, and that was your call on the Joe Joyce undercard. Ian Lewison and Joe Joyce.
Was it that one?
Yeah, I think it was that one.
Okay.
And that was a fun because I think Willie came in quite big. He was cruiserweight back then.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he just turned pro. He was cruiserweight. Yeah.
But you know.
And I remember, this is a funny story. Yeah. I interviewed Willie Hutchinson. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the gym in
David Haig's gym.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, that's the only interview I ever remember doing for the channel. Yeah, recording on T&N TV, and then the microphone wasn't on. So I came back home and I turned it on, and that's the only interview. Poor Willie is just talking, but we can't hear no audio. So that's the only interview I ever messed up recording over the years.
You live and you learn.
Yeah, we live and we learn, but that's the only one that got away. But Willie, lovely guy, and he was obviously a big Scottish Olympian at the time. He was an amateur, great amateur.
I think he had the best amateur pedigree or something.
Coming out of Scotland, so there's big hopes. And at times it seemed that maybe he wasn't going to sort of like realise his potential and stuff, because his career went quiet. Maybe there was injuries involved and other things as well, because boxing, obviously so many things can happen in boxing. And now looks like he's having a career best time, and he's really on a massive high. Yeah. And he beat like even the Craig Spider Richards fight. Yeah, that was a great fight. But again, like I would have picked Spider Richards in that fight, and I think I did, and I was wrong. Like I admit I got that one wrong. And now that Willie's come through that fight, now Buatsi, it's going to be a difficult fight to call this one.
I think it should be a good fight again, and I think it's going to be difficult because look, we were there for Joshua's pro debut, and we were ringside, and we had a good look at Joshua and what he's about. And to be fair, if you remember, we were both impressed, man.
Yeah, super impressed. It's like the pro debut of a guy. He looked so polished. He was so serious.
It was like he's like 10th fight or something.
He was calm. He was collected. He was serious, and he was venomous as well. When he got the guy hurt, the punches he was absolute savagery of the. It was a barbarian.
Took the guy out, man. The guy was really hurt.
Really badly hurt. So again, like with Buatsi, I think early on in his career, he was so deadly serious.
Definitely, man.
He was not playing any games. He was coming in to hurt you. He was coming in to hurt you big time.
On it like a bonnet.
Now Willie's quite chippy as well. So the press conference for that one.
Talking about Willie, not quickly. Also, he pro debut. Come on, man. We were impressed with him as well. And he pro debut. The activity, the speed, the combination punching.
Yeah, really good. Wow. Yeah, skillful. Very skillful. Really good skill.
This guy.
Yeah, and at first, obviously, I didn't think of Willie as a big puncher like Buatsi, because Buatsi like was hurting people and coming to like proper hurt you. Whereas Willie was very good, but also very technical, slick. So it's going to be a very, very interesting fight, and also quite a chippy one, because I think Willie's now gotten quite confident. He's going to talk quite a lot, and sometimes I think Buatsi doesn't like it when people talk rubbish to Buatsi. Buatsi, he's so serious, isn't it? Josh takes some of it professionally because he knows it's all promotion and it's all in good spirit and all that. But if you cross a line and Buatsi gets real serious real quick.
There was a bit of tension there when they had a face-off.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? I think there was a whole push, and then basically Buatsi was like inviting Willie for a dust-up outside, I think it was. And I think Hutchinson like pressed a button there that doesn't get pressed often. Because with Buatsi, I've never seen him like get upset and wanting to actually fight someone outside. That usually doesn't happen with Josh. Yeah. But it could be a good thing or a bad thing as well. You never know. He might come out really angry, trying to take Willie out.
You might see the old Buatsi.
The old Buatsi might come back, and or alternatively, if he's distracted and he comes out angry and makes mistakes, then maybe Willie can capitalise off that. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their record, Buatsi is still unbeaten, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. He's still unbeaten. Josh is still unbeaten. Yeah.
With Willie, he got beaten by I forgot the dude's name, man. He got beaten by I think it was a stoppage or something.
Obviously, Willie's had a bit of a hiccup.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, his performances, look, against Craig Richards, you can see like
like last couple of performances, you could see a difference.
He's dusted off the cobwebs, and it's not that loss. It's not mentally affected.
Yeah, he's still quite young. Don't get me wrong. Like Buatsi's young as well, but obviously, like Buatsi's in his prime now. He's coming into his physical prime. I think Willie's like not in his prime yet. He's like approaching it. I think, but he's like more confident. He's not. When we met him, he was a young teenager / young man. Yeah, he kind of had like that. Oh, he's very young, very green aura. Yeah. Now it's changed. He looks more like a man. He's confident. So I think he believes 100% that he's gonna, give Joshua Buatsi the business. Yeah, and that I think is gonna make for a great, fantastic fight. I can't wait to see it. It's like he's that Craig Richards fight probably gave him confidence. He thinks that if I can beat Craig, then why not Buatsi?
I think I mean, look, his performance against Craig was really good, but I think like to me when I watched that fight. I don't know, man. Was Craig injured or he just looked a bit baffed? When Hutchinson was throwing shots and stepping off and stuff. I don't know, he looked a bit baffed.
I think with Craig is a really good solid fight. He's never going to give you a bad performance, Craig Richards. But the thing with Craig is that sometimes in some fights, like he seems to just perform better than in others. So sometimes you get that up and down.
Maybe it's the styles. I'm not too sure.
Styles as
but
well.
With Buatsi is definitely not going to perform like Craig. I think Buatsi is going to bring it. And with Buatsi, from even early on in his career, he was a pressure fighter. He will come forward, and
in an intelligent way.
You know, he used to remind me a little bit of Errol Spence, man, in terms of style. He used to come forward, he'll put the pressure on, he'll throw punching, good body shots. You know, he's a good solid fighter. So maybe he might.
The big occasion never gets to Buatsi. We were backstage when he did the ring walk to Dan Aziz. Fight.
You know,
and we could see as soon as he was coming out, you could see on his face. Definitely. It was all written on his face. He was completely relaxed. He was serious. He meant business.
Yeah, definitely.
When Dan Aziz did his wrong, you could tell he was nervous straight away.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good fight, and obviously we watched that live as well. And I think it was a good fight. And you know, Dan Aziz, he's a hard worker. He's a proper grafter.
He's gonna give you an honest account.
To beat a Dan Aziz, you got to be on it, man. Because he's work rating good. He trains hard, and so that was a good fight.
He's a proper warrior, isn't it? Dan Aziz is like old school throwback.
Yeah, definitely.
Fire. So and like Willy Hutchinson versus Buatsi, another fantastic addition to the card.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with Buatsi, he will try to pressure him. And I think with Hutchinson, he's going to have to probably, use a bit of his boxing skills, his movement, his footwork.
So what's the predictions?
It's a bit of a close. If I have to predict...
Putting you on the spot.
It's hard, man. I might go for Joshua Buatsi, I reckon.
Yeah, JB.
What do you reckon?
I'm kind of thinking in a weird way.
Saying that Hutchinson's got a chance, but it all comes down on what happens on the night, innit?
Yeah, I'm just gonna think, being the playing the devil's advocate as I would. I think the Hutchinson might actually pull off an upset because obviously I've not checked what the betting odds are and what the general odds are for the fight, but I can only imagine that Buatsi must be at least a slight favourite. I would imagine, right? Like the conventional wisdom is that Buatsi is probably the bigger name / the better fighter.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of thinking that Willie's got the youth on his side. He's got the momentum. He seems to be free of injuries. He's very confident. He seems super, super confident. And I'm just thinking maybe styles. If Craig Richards found Willie Hutchinson's style super awkward, who knows? Because Willie again, he puts out a massive output. He's got the punch volume. He's got the youth. He's got the flurries. Yeah. Maybe that might catch the judge's eye. So I'm kind of. Throw a spanner in the works and say maybe Willie by points.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
In a split decision, maybe.
Yeah, I think personally though, I don't think Joshua Buatsi. Joshua obviously beat Willie. He beat Craig Richards. And I think Joshua Buatsi will be a harder fight for Willie than it was against Craig, man. Personally,
it's bigger puncher for sure. I mean, I think punch is harder, but Buatsi, and he's very mean with his intentions.
I mean, if you look at Craig Richards, he's done pretty well in his career.
Good fight.
He put the champion down, didn't he? That Bivol.
Yeah, Bivol. He gave Bivol one of the harder fights.
He gave him a good run for the money there.
And Bivol's probably again the best light heavy.
Yeah. So Craig's done pretty well in his career, I think. And if you look at Joshua, Joshua, when he turned professional, he was an Olympian, innit? So he's had a lot of people talking about him and thinking that he would.
I mean, he's obviously been sort of predicted to be the next big thing in the light heavyweight division, and maybe not all of the big fights have come for him.
I think his career's gone a bit slow, man. I don't know what's going on.
He wanted Yard, obviously. The Yard fight hasn't yet happened.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
There was other possibilities as well. There was a possibility of him fighting people like Bivol, like Arthur Beterbiev. But those fights haven't yet come up for Buatsi. So I'm hoping that maybe at some point next couple of years, before his prime is over, that Joshua Buatsi will get these world title opportunities that he can actually be.
I mean, look, I think the winner of this fight will be mandatory or something.
Yeah, they'll definitely get a shot, you would imagine. Yeah, the winner of this fight will probably get a shot, unless obviously they can make the Anthony Yard fight happen, maybe, and that will maybe be an eliminator. For
personally, I don't think Tunde wants that fight. I think the reason why that fight didn't happen because I think Tunde was wanting too much money or something.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess that's speculation on our part. It could be that, realistically speaking, behind the scenes, we don't know what was going on with the whole Frank Warren, contract situation and everything else. True. But at the end of the day, as fans, we always want to see the best fights. We want to see the best fight each other.
Yeah.
And the Yard Buatsi fight would have been a massive domestic fight that everyone wants to see. But the Willie Hutchinson, Joshua Buatsi is a great substitute. You'd say okay, if Yard's not available, then who else domestically? Obviously, Spider Richards. He's already fought him. Yes, he's already fought Dan Aziz. There isn't a huge huge, huge other people out there. So the Willy Hutch made perfect sense. Good timing too. So very exciting, man. So I can't wait for this card. 21st of September.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's gonna be live.
Can't
So
wait.
hopefully we'll watch that live.
Might do we should try to do a watch along.
Yeah, watch along or something similar. Yeah. So anyways, signing out for T&N TV.
T&N TV over and out. Make sure you catch us. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe
to the T&NOD podcast show.
That's
talking
it.
about various other different shit. Boxing,
Loads more content coming soon.
Yeah, so keep it locked. Keep it locked, people.
That's
over and out.